Well, hey there, boys and girls, and welcome to another episode of Learn BMX Racing. This episode is going to be all about a company called BMX Showboaters, who actually shoot videos of just about every single state qualifier race here in California. So let's talk to the guy that started BMX Showboaters and see what he has to say about it.
Hi, I'm Donovan from BMX Showboaters. So I started BMX Showboaters because my kids raced and I wanted to find something that I could give back to BMX and be at the track a lot more. So I also didn't want to compete with anybody else because BMX is such a small sport. They're just very small. It's a small venue, so I didn't want to compete with other businesses. So I came up with videography because no one was filming the state and the Gold Cup series. So what I do is I set 12 GoPros up all around the racetrack, turn them on for main events, and then competitors can buy a video of their main event, and I customize it to the rider that orders the video.
So let's show you a few examples of what the actual videos look like. So here's one of my videos from the Stars and Stripes State Qualifier in 2022. Now, you'll notice as this video plays through that it repeats a number of shots, and there's also a few pauses, like this one coming up right here. It goes slow motion, and then there's this little freeze frame. Okay, so that's not me. I'm not doing that. This is actually the way the Showboaters video works. So one of the great things about these videos is that it really allows you to analyze the race. So in this race, this guy who goes down in the first turn, I knew that he was about as fast as I was. So as soon as I saw him go down, I really started to pedal hard because I was like, okay, as long as I can stay ahead of this guy, I know that I could at least get third place. And so here we are coming down the second last straight, and we're coming into the final turn right here. And I did manage to stay ahead, and I ended up getting a third place finish for this particular state qualifier. And there's the freeze frame of me crossing the finish line. So here, this next one, this is, which race is this? This is Yucaipa. And this is another race where I was pretty far in the back, but I did fairly well by the end of the race. And again, this is really cool because it kind of allows you to really analyze what you're doing in a video, right? I think that as a person who participates in action sports, all of us who do this, all of us who race, we know what really good racers look like. So it's easy to spot a lot of your mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes I make, and I can tell just from watching this, is like I don't pedal enough, I need to pedal a heck of a lot more. Right here through their rhythm section, it's kind of tough to pedal, obviously, but here we lose a few racers. They kind of go off the edge of the track there. Oh, maybe they don't. I thought they did. My memory of this race was that a few guys actually crashed, but I guess they didn't. I guess they all stayed on their bikes, but they still went a little too high and kind of lost it. So I did manage to get third during that race. And let's look at one more. This is the state qualifier out at Yucca Valley. This is a track that I really like. Now, this is a good example of me not pedaling enough. And this race was kind of frustrating for me because I really thought that I was going to win. I actually won the first moto, but the guy who ends up beating me in this race, I found out that he actually had kind of a flat tire in the very first moto, which is why he was going so slow and why I managed to beat him. So I didn't know that at the time, so I thought, I'm going to probably win this race, and then we get to the final and he takes off and he's way ahead of me, and I'm like, why is this guy so fast when he wasn't this fast the first time? But yeah, turns out that he had a partially flat tire apparently. But yeah, here you can see, I'm just not pedaling enough. I'm pumping too much, and I should definitely pedal a bit more. Well, instead of just talking about the BMX Showboaters website, I should show it to you. So when you come to bmxshowboaters.com and you go to order a race, you can scroll down here and you see all of the races organized by the date and the location. So if you wanted to, let's say, order a race, if you were at Stars and Stripes for the state qualifier in 2022, you click on that, and here you have your 3 options for how you want your video. So you can just get it published on YouTube. You can have it published on YouTube and uploaded to a file sharing service where you could download the file. And finally, you could have it not published on YouTube and just uploaded to file sharing. So those are kind of the options that you have for how you want your video delivered. If you look at the BMX Showboaters YouTube channel and check out the videos page, you can see that there are a massive quantity of races that have been published on their YouTube channel. I actually started counting them and I got up to about 300 and then I just stopped because I was getting bored counting them. So but yeah, they're doing really well, and you can see it's a very popular thing, and tons and tons of people have gotten copies of their races through BMX Showboaters.
Yeah, so as far as my editing goes, it is a very complex system that I do. I kind of devised it over the first year. I did it in a way that was extremely inefficient, got better with editing. By the second year, I was able to narrow it down, so because I have 12 cameras out there, I just turn them all on for main events, and then I have to be able to go in later and pick out a specific race and a specific rider in that race. So I can't really, it's more of a trade secret of exactly how I do the editing, but yeah, that's basically the way that I download everything, file it, and then put it into the editor, and then I have it lined up, so then at that point when I get an order, I can go in and pull out that specific race, and then I can also pull out that specific rider. You know, even if they crash or whatever, then I can do the aftermath of the crash or whatever once the race is gone, because the cameras are just rolling the whole time. So I started BMX Showboaters in 2019, did that for 2 years, and then at the beginning of my 3rd year in business, I added On Point Bike Services, because that was another hole in the industry, and something that tracks needed at the state and Gold Cup level. So we did all of On Point. We started On Point in 2021, so we did that all last year and this year. And then also this year I launched sponsorship for kids. It's called Bandages for BMX. Once again, another hole in the industry. Kids need a fundraiser. So kind of along the same lines that Girl Scouts sell cookies, I got BMXers selling Band-Aids. So they go out in the community, they sell these Band-Aids in front of Vons, farmers markets. They can sell them through their social Facebook media, Instagram. So they sell them, they turn back in the money, and then they get a credit that they can use to spend on racing, parts, clinics, entry fees, any of the products or services that we carry. So this is a good way for the kids to get involved, promote the sport out in the public, bring outside financial support to BMX. And so that was my big push on this.
Well, thank you so much for watching this episode of Learn BMX Racing. And remember, if you have not gone out there and shot your own videos, now you can get videos done by BMX Showboaters. Because you never want to forget that your good old days are happening right now.